All right, I'm in a drawing mode, and I want to show how much care I'm putting into this image I'm creating, as it proved to be the inspiration for what I think a Never Die would look like. The Chaosium Never Die, what I call the militia. Their uniform or outfit, and it's active camouflage, and there's a double triangle symbol that I very much want to be emblematic of how the government actually functions in a way. Of up to down and down to up, and up to down and down to up, and everybody gets together and works in the middle. Something like that. That may or may not quite capture it. That's kind of the image I was thinking in my head for, the upside down V, or the V as a model for government versus the triangle. And this is the image I came up with to explain it. It was this double triangle, and I want to see how this video goes, showing how I draw and what I'm drawing and how much care I'm putting into this image in particular. So let's see. And, should be all right with everything. In terms of what you see, you don't see, won't see, maybe see, and just you see or don't see. Um, this isn't the line in the upright triangle that I'm drawing right now. There's how much care and detail I'm putting into the very specific lines. Understanding design principles, how things hit, how I want them to appear, what I want to stand out, what I want to don't stand out. And I did want to demonstrate that these, it's 21st century nation design. So ideally what we would be working with is an active camouflage system as a military, which we may or may not do and may or may not tell our people already. Because I heard as early as 10 years ago, they had the technology to make invisibility suits for the military as military camouflage technology at the level of the Harry Potter um, invisibility cloak. And it looks similar to that, actually. And I think that's why they based the invisibility cloak in production design on, was the military description of how an active camouflage hooded suit would work, like a cloak or cowl, for the soldiers to just throw over their regular battle gear and thereby be invisible in the background to the greatest extent possible. And I have the image here of the Never Die is like poking its face outside of the hood. I think ideally it would be invisible both on inside and out, uh, in the sense of they would know they were wearing it by weight and feel, but they would not know, and it would not impede vision or sound in any way, but also maybe include sound dampeners so it can dampen sound for that level of invisibility. And maybe think of other ways of being invisible too, such as shifting air in the same way we shift radar for stealth. And that's how much care. And sometimes what I'm thinking, and sometimes the observer is always influenced by the observer and what is observing it. And so having this camera on may have just inspired me, uh, for a little bit more. I'm having trouble writing because of the mutilation and maiming system that they have running on me, like as in typing and using my smartphone to type, or typing in general, actually. But if I can do this and talk and videotape it, it makes it worthwhile. And other people to watch it and see the creative process and how much care and attention I put into all of it. And if I was just firing things off, those are saved as drafts. And that is a lot of what's in the AMBA files, is some of that stuff, and then the other revisions and drafts and various parts and pieces cut out from old sessions, writing Chaos Eden as a demonstration and kind of way to encapsulate me as a person, my life's beliefs and ethics. And so here, see how much care I'm putting into that line to get it right. I want this to look like a nice, solid line. I want this triangle to stand out in front of the Never Die that I just created. Took me about an hour doing this pointing system, trying to envision the lines on the page and then hit the lines on the page as I saw them once I was inspired. It started out as the triangles, and then I just wanted, and the pen started to run out, the other red that I had, and so I started doing it. I'm doing some permanent marker so it stays. And then it started to run out, so what I did was grab that green and then put that green over it like that to try and make it a more solid line. And I'm sorry, I was making sure we were out of time. Where are we at? Okay, almost out of time. And then I just had this idea. I did the points in the middle as kind of like almost to make it look like a bolt, or like a bolt on a shield. But then I just kind of became inspired to make this Never Die concept, and it started with just putting eyes in there, and then kind of grew into a mask. And I said, well, it doesn't look quite right like that. I'm making a mask, and it's a mask because there are symbols all representing everything within the government. Yada yada. So that's it. Time is up. That's what you see.